It feels like summer, but let's talk about it. Yesterday there was like an interview of 60 minutes for Benjamin Netanyahu of Israel, PM, Prime Minister, and that make me, remind me, so to speak, of the some issues, especially the nuclear weapon issues. Uh, Netanyahu yesterday repeated the call for zero enrichment of uranium. That's actually it's kind of absurd or ironical in several senses. Number one is that Israel itself is a new country. They never there's like a ambiguity. They never say they admitted they have nuclear, but they never denied it. But everybody knows that it has possessed the nuclear weapon. So the whole idea for Israel is to keep the monopoly of a nuclear weapon in the Middle East. Okay, so Iranian is not even close to develop the nuclear weapons. If you look at the North Korea is actually about 50, according to some report. North Korea has like 50 nuclear warhead. North Korea has also the power of delivery the nuclear warhead because they have intercontinental ballistic missiles, and they developed like several years ago. So technically, the entire continent of the United States is within the reach of nuclear North Korea nuclear warhead. So compared to North Korea, Iran is not even close. Here is the thing that it's absurd for Israel to be a nuclear country, you know, to demand a non, you know, at least that nobody says, even according to U.S. Intelligence, that Iran doesn't have the projection capability to threat the United States. Okay, and then so this is a country with already nuclear weapon. I'm talking about Israel. Like they talk about anywhere between 50 to 200 nuclear warhead. Now this country is demanding another country, which doesn't have the projection power nearly as much as they have. And then now they demand far more strict criterion for Iran. Because why do I say far more stricter? It's because you compare to NPT. NPT means that the non-proliferation of a weapon. That's treaty, and then we also have like I believe that the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. That's more recent about several big countries, including U.S. or U.K., China, Russia, and then somewhere else, Germany, I think. They are limiting even the Joint Comprehensive Plan of Action. They also allow Iran to develop to enrich the uranium like to the percentage of 3.67. Now Israel is asking for zero. Now, so that's just I put a post yesterday in a thread post. I said I hope somebody can remind Netanyahu that he's not God. It's just so much international just injustice. It's totally that whoever has the power, you make everything right. You know. So I'm not, obviously I'm not defending Iran, but Iran also there is another thing that religiously, Iranian supreme leader when he's Khamenei was when he was survived when he was alive, he had a fatwa. Fatwa is basically supreme leader's word. They're basically like a constitution. You know, they say that we should never develop or use nuclear weapons. for religious reasons. Okay, of course that doesn't stop the U.S. and Israel from threatening from preemptive strike Iran for for anything. So that's why it's just like I always think about this. Because I hate the spiders. Every time every morning I get up, I always like using the some tools to clean up a spider web because that's really annoying. But I already know. I also know that even though I hate spider, I also know that it's impossible to completely eliminate it. Israel is exactly asking for such a thing, completely eliminate. So Israel is it's not really, although this country, Jewish people admire them. They really study hard. They are smart. But when it comes to geopolitics, several things make them not smart at all. The first one is that, the the chosen people of the God. That's one mentality. The second one is that the years and decades of bipartisan support, unconditional support of Israel. You know, the third one is that they really believe that the physical elimination. They really believe might makes right. Even more importantly is that they don't have the notion. Sometimes I think that it may have something to do with that the number of the kind of people, Jewish people, because the Jewish people, they're all over the world, right? But the majority of people in Israel now, the Jewish Israelis, a lot of them are from, Middle East and then the North American countries. So the society they grow up with doesn't have this sense of equality, they don't have the notion of treating people are born in the same right. So they don't have that. So that's why make them, treating that seeing the Palestinian as the human animals or anything even worse than animals. So this kind of a thing, key value lacking in Israel, make this country very dangerous. Look at the Jewish Americans. They are some of the greatest people in the world. They made so much contributions. But look at the Jewish Israelis. You have to say that you have to be disappointed. Okay, so let's stop here.